Claude just got killed. Not by a hacker, not by China, not by some rogue jailbreak kid on Discord, but by Amazon. Yes, Amazon, the company that has put billions of dollars into Anthropic. The company whose servers run Claude right now. That Amazon picked up the phone, called the US Treasury, and 3 days later, the most powerful AI model Anthropic has ever shipped became illegal to access for everyone and everywhere, including Anthropic's own employees. So if you write code for a living, or if you're studying to, give me this 8 minutes, because this isn't a Silicon Valley gossip story. This is the first time in history a government has used expert control to switch off a commercial AI model. And the precedent it just set affects every single one of us. Here's the setup. Tuesday, June 9th, Anthropic launches 2 new models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5. These are pitched as the most capable coding and cybersecurity models they've ever built. The kind of model that can find vulnerabilities, write exploits, audit a codebase end-to-end. Genuinely impressive engineering. Now, 3 days later, Friday, 5:21 p.m., Anthropic gets a legal directive from the US government. No foreign national anywhere in the world, including Anthropic's own staff, is allowed to access Fable 5 or Mythos 5. Anthropic has to comply. Within hours, both models go dark. And that's globally for every customer. People mid-session running code agents just start getting the "this model no longer exists" errors. No warning emails, no heads up on the status page. The model just stopped existing. According to the Wall Street Journal, and confirmed across multiple outlets, this whole thing started with Amazon. Amazon's own security researchers ran a series of prompts against Fable 5 and got it to surface real, exploitable information about actual software vulnerabilities. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy personally raised this with the Treasury Secretary and other senior officials. Security teams spent Friday verifying the claim. And at least 5 other companies also called administration officials that same Thursday night and Friday morning. By Friday evening, the government had its answer: full expert control ban. Now remember, Amazon isn't some outside watchdog. Amazon is Anthropic's biggest investor. Billions in funding, $100 billion cloud commitment. AWS literally runs Claude's infrastructure, and AWS itself got caught in the blast radius of this shutdown. So ask yourself the obvious question: why would Anthropic's biggest banker personally trigger a government order that damages Anthropic's own products days before what's expected to be one of the biggest AI IPOs ever? Yeah, maybe it really was just a good faith security concern. And that's the official line, at least. The Amazon statement is carefully neutral. It's not uncommon for governments to seek their counsel on potential security risks. Sure. Here's another read. OpenAI and Anthropic are both racing towards an IPO right now. Both are in an active price war. And a headline that says Anthropic's flagship model is so dangerous the US government had to ban it 3 days after its launch. This could steer the IPO. Plus, if you consider that Anthropic was screaming on every corner how dangerous their model is. Anthropic, to their credit, didn't just roll over quietly. Their response is basically, we disagree, but we are complying. They're saying the jailbreak in question is very narrow, it is not universal, and the exact same technique works on GPT-5.5 and other publicly available models that have zero export restrictions. Before launch, they put Fable 5 through more than 1,000 hours of external red teaming, and nobody found a universal jailbreak. The UK's AI Safety Institute got a partial bypass within hours, but even Anthropic admits that perfect resistance doesn't exist for anyone right now. Pulling the model the moment any narrow jailbreak is found. If this model gets applied across the industry, then it would essentially halt all the new model deployments for all frontier model providers. All right, so why does this matter for you? Because I'm assuming you're not building a frontier model, and let's assume you didn't sign up for a max plan this week in order to get your hands onto the Fable 5. This is now a life risk for anyone shipping a product on top of a single US AI provider. And this is not a theoretical one anymore. This is a demonstrated problem. If a major cloud provider CEO can get a competitor's flagship model banned within one phone call to the Treasury Secretary, that is a new competitive weapon that simply didn't exist a week ago. And it can hit your production stack with zero warning, mid-request, no migration windows. This is a rocket fuel for the open weight side of the industry. Xiaomi and Kimi launched 2 of their model updates. Both landed days earlier, both claiming to match or beat Claude code on non-agentic tasks. There's a GitHub pattern called architect loop that routes most of your tokens to cheap open models and only uses a frontier model for orchestration. Last week that was just a cost hack, but this week it's a resilience strategy. This is the first time ever the US has applied export controls to commercial LLM access, and it hit the allies, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, zero advance warning. Their response in writing is any application dependent on US-based LLMs is subject to being shut down at any moment. Quick hits from the same 48 hours because it doesn't stop. The Arch Linux AUR supply chain attack, the one that started at 400 compromised packages, now is up to 1500. Rootkit, InfoStealer, Tor exfiltration. If you've installed anything from AUR this week, go check your system right now. A German court has stated that Google can be legally liable for false statements generated by their AI overviews. OpenAI is now under investigation by a coalition of US state attorney generals. And KPMG, they published a report promoting the business benefits of AI. And it was itself full of AI hallucinated citations. It's just, you cannot make this up anymore. So here's where I land on this. Maybe Amazon's concern was completely genuine. Maybe. But the mechanism is now proven. A single company with enough influence can get a rival's AI model pulled from the entire world in under 24 hours through a government, not through the market. If that is the new norm, well, what does that mean for the next model you build your startup on? All right, drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.